Hello, and welcome to The W. My name is Mendez, and it is my pleasure to host a discussion around the film Redefined. Redefined is the story of Kobe, who as a teenager was in and out of rehab, and then, at 18 years old, he hit rock bottom. Now with a job at Napa Auto Parts, Kobe's life is no longer defined by his past. Joining me on The W for a conversation is the filmmaker Marina Dimmett. Marina, welcome to The W.
Thank you, Moy. It's such a pleasure to be here with you on The W. I wish we were in person doing this interview, but as you can see, I'm actually 9 months pregnant at the moment. So we're excited to welcome our first child here in a few weeks.
But now, tell me, why did you choose Kobe's story?
Kobe is one of my good friends, and I know him as someone who has this transformative story that you do come to see in the film, but he also, in everyday situations, just brings this passion, this love for people. That's really the faith that we see come through in his story, but his faith and his work are really just one.
Tell us a little bit more about the transformation that you see in Kobe.
So much of it you see in the film when he shares his story of how his life has been transformed. And a lot of that had to do with work. And, there's a moment where he says, I didn't have pride in anything before, in the work that I was doing before this. And now he has pride in his work. So, he has been transformed from the inside out, truly. He's not the same person he was Cinco de Mayo 2018 when he was charged with attempted murder. And a lot of that now is because of what other people saw in him and the way that they entrusted the work to him and knew that he was still a value to our community, where a lot of people might turn him aside and say, no, you took the wrong path, so you don't get to be part of this anymore.
In spite of the challenges that Kobe had, Matt took a calculated risk to hire Kobe because he saw something in Kobe, and that was that Kobe is a people person. Could you say more about that?
Matt, in a way, named this film because he expressed, the past does not have to define you. I think he saw the leadership skills in him, and he saw the passion for people, and that meant more to him than the gap in the work history that so easily, I think, would turn off many people to hiring someone. And hopefully, as people are watching this, they start to realize, too, that there are so many people that maybe deserve a second chance, or people who have the skill set but just were on the wrong road for a little while and can now bring a lot to a workplace.
It very well seems that Kobe is flourishing where he's at. Has he made that connection with work and how it allows us to flourish?
As he likes to say, he has come from the muck and the mire to now the other side of that. And I think because of that, he does recognize the flourishing that exists because of the space that he's in, the effort that you put in, the work that you put in, how your faith ties into that. And then overall, just letting that expand to the community beyond you. Like Jordan, for example, the customer. And so the flourishing continues beyond just Kobe and his family unit and his employees. Now we're seeing flourishing, not just because Jordan can now make it to his job, but he's also working on himself internally and working through some of the addictions and things that he's had struggles with because Kobe took the time.
Exactly. A lot of us don't think of the overarching economic component of what's taking place, especially within the confines of the auto part industry. It was a pleasant surprise to see how a little auto parts store could feed into a broader economy.
They are the supplier for, the trucks that run for Idaho Power here in Idaho. And they supply the parts for our police cars, and they supply the parts for many of the fleets that run here locally and across our nation. And that was a huge surprise to learn that. So it's just been really interesting to see this ecosystem that works and operates, and how each part of it is really just a cog in the wheel, right?
I love this story because I feel it's a clear depiction of God's purpose for work. I see how it's impacting not only Kobe, the community around him, but now the family unit. He's able to now provide for his family. I don't think we could fully count the value that God places on work and how it actually impacts more than just us. It impacts our community. Could you speak a little bit more about the impact?
Yes, the impact is so valuable of someone doing their job well and working hard. And again, like you said, not just the family unit, which is important, but also the employees that work with Kobe, that work for Kobe. So it's just been really exciting to see how one person has such an impact on this larger community.
Well, Marina, thank you so much for being with us on The W.
Thank you so much for having me, Moy. It's been such a pleasure, and I appreciate you taking the time to watch this film, and just excited for Kobe's story to be out there.
And thank you all for being with us on The W.